All right, today is Wednesday, May 12th, and thanks for stopping by. It's a little after 3:30 my end, and I'm done trading for the day. A little bit of a tricky market rhythm today that I'll get to in a little bit, but I thought I would follow up on yesterday's post and respond really to one particular question that's come up a couple of times. Maybe not even a question, but a comment over the events over the past week or so. And that is, some folks have emailed me basically asking or basically suggesting that, or asking me why I've been so open with the hit I took on Thursday, and the little bit of a funk I've been in over the past week or so, and there seemed to be an inference to my teaching business, which was, well, if you want to be marketing your teaching business, why do you share things like that? And I was stunned really with the question, and I guess I just wanted to set the record straight again that I'm a trader, and I teach reality, and I teach trading and have taught trading for a very long time. And one of the things that I teach is that you can't get complacent, you can't get sloppy, you need to maintain your level of focus all the time. And if you do that, then you will be fine. There will be black swans on occasion. And my point being that this is the entire trading package. And it's one of the reasons that when I accepted the request to go back into teaching last year, that I felt I could only do so over an extended period of time. Thus the 8-week pilot jelly effort and then the subsequent 4-week efforts. And of course we recorded the evening sessions, which became the Jelly webinars, which was reflected a recap of prior weeks and some formal lecture at the same time. But my point being that this is the reality of the business. And Paul Tudor Jones, if you remember that old PBS special back in the 80s, I think they were well, I know they were following him around. The day that he lost, I forget what it was, a couple of $1 million or something like that. I mean, the fact of the matter is that despite probability, despite success records, despite what works in this business over the long run, there will be times when you will get hit. And believe me, I didn't dream up last Thursday to basically include that in the course curriculum or the blog curriculum. But it is a natural part of this business, and I guess maybe that's why the folks that have been part of the Jelly efforts over the past year or so have been drawn to it. I guess I don't know, but this is the part of the business, and this is reality. And one of the things that I stress over the course of those 4 weeks when I do them is the number of mistakes that I make. And I say mistakes, I mean mistakes in terms of lack of perfection. And you just continue to fight through it. You fight through it on a daily basis, and then you fight through it during those 1 or 2 times a year when it takes all of your strength to get up that next morning. It was interesting because Friday I got up, and I think I mentioned in my post, I got up and I had a checklist of things that I was wanting to accomplish, and including just keeping the feet moving. Those are some of my chart alerts here, by the way, that are going off here. It looks like the market is dropping a bit, and that was true. And I got back on my feet on Friday, but it was a little bit of I don't want to say a fog, but I frankly don't remember much of the day. I went about business and I was profitable and all that kind of thing. But my point being, and I don't want to keep dwelling over the past week or so, but I want to use this as an example, especially in light of these recent emails that have come in that basically say, well, why are you sharing that? And there goes your teaching business. I only teach because I've been asked to. That's how this whole thing started, and I will continue to do so on occasion, so long as there's interest. But again, this is part of the business, folks. you trade long enough and you're going to run into something like this. So I guess that allows me to segue into some other emails that I've gotten that have asked. One gentleman in particular was asking, how I would suggest he come back from a draw. He said he's got like a $3 million account. He's down about 100,000, and it sounds like he's got a proprietary account that he's trading, other people's capital, and that therefore he makes income off a percentage of his gains, as opposed to myself, which is I trade all my capital, so all the losses are 100% mine and all the gains are 100% mine. But he was asking for suggestions, and it was kind of interesting because I've gone through a bit of a draw here over the past week or so, and I'm working through that again. And we could go, I guess, to all the trading 101 textbooks, and everybody throws a shingle up there that basically says that, well, you just, don't let it bother you and just keep plugging away. And I guess my first question might be, are you normally profitable? I know I'm normally profitable, so that allows me to get through these times. If you can pinpoint what you're doing wrong, the first problem with a lot of people is they don't know what they're doing wrong. So, can you pinpoint that? Again, I mentioned several months ago a fellow who called me, and I spent about 20-30 minutes with him on the phone, and after about 5 minutes, I asked him two questions. I said, do you ever add to your winners when the market moves in your direction and confirms? And do you ever think about the person on the other side of your trade instead of your own position? And in both cases, the answer was no, and I knew that before I even asked the question. It can be as simple as that, or it can be that you're just completely trading something that is inappropriate. I mean, it is impossible to troubleshoot over email or even over the phone. But all I'm trying to do here is a couple of years ago I came up with the idea of sharing my journey, my trading journey. What I earn is what I earn. What I trade is what I trade. The black swan is the black swan, and that is a part of this business. So again, I guess I just wanted to respond to some of the mail out there, and say, how can you teach and market, that sort of thing. Well, I'm not interested in marketing. I'm interested in reality. I'm interested in being able to sleep at night with myself from a trading perspective and from an educational perspective, and again, it doesn't make me better or less than anybody else. But I will say this: I wish I saw more of it. I wish that people and I opened the door a little bit over the weekend in terms of asking people to share their experiences, especially on the liquidity providing side. I would like to see more of that, and it seems that people tend to run and hide. Now, and I know I got I think E-mini Player sent me a comment asking about posting a P&L, which I used to do on a daily basis when I was really logging everything. And I'm going to answer that in two ways, and I'll leave you with this thought. I've been talking about my losses a lot more lately than my winners, and I'm in that mode. In terms of I don't really care to talk a whole lot about when I'm doing well. If I'm silent to it, you should get a pretty good idea that things are going fine. However, I am giving some thought to kind of using this last week as an opportunity to perhaps do something with, and we talked about this maybe a year or so ago, with can we, for everybody's benefit, take a modest account and say, let's put a target on it. Let's say we want to grow that or earn $100,000, and that kind of gets at the guy who's down 100,000. It sort of gets at in the ballpark of not that quite that much, but of what I've been going through, and just kind of logging and keeping track of from day one, whenever we start this, the trades and the accumulation of profits and the losses and all that sort of thing, and see how long it takes us. So I'm giving some thought to that. So that's part of a response. So anyway, those are some thoughts today. I've got my daughter's last high school concert tonight. She's going to be soloing violin, and that's really what I'm thinking of today. So I hope you did well. Oh, by the way, today's market rhythm. choppy, underlying trend support, breaking out of coils, probing new highs, coming back towards support, and did that about 3 or 4 times today. You had to be on top of your game. I was fortunate to carve out some profit at this end. Have a great night. We'll catch you later. Take care.